You know, sometimes I laugh at myself. A broken man, standing in the ruins of what he thought would last forever. And still I find the strength to smirk at the irony of it all. They thought I'd fall and stay down. They thought the weight of betrayal, the stabs in the back, the silent nights, and the endless tears would bury me. But here I am, talking, bleeding, crying, and somehow still alive. And that in itself is a miracle. I never asked for this war. I never begged for scars that eat through my chest when I remember every word spoken to me in trust, every promise made and broken, every hand I held that later pushed me into the dirt. But maybe this is the fate of a warrior, never chosen, only forged. Pain didn't ask me for permission before it built its house inside my bones. Darkness didn't knock before it broke my doors and settled in my mind. And yet, despite everything, I am fine. Not because I don't feel the fire, but because I have learned how to burn with it. Do you know what it means to watch everything you love slip through your fingers? To fight until your knuckles bleed, only to realize no one was fighting beside you. That's the kind of silence that doesn't just fill a room, it swallows your soul. I screamed once, cried until the earth itself should have cracked open, but the world stayed quiet. That's when I understood. Nobody's coming to save me. Nobody. And that truth cut deeper than any sword. It taught me the kind of loneliness that even death envies. But listen to me now. If you're bleeding, if you're shattered, if you think you can't take one more step, understand this. Your suffering is the evidence of your strength. Weak men don't get tested like this. The fire doesn't care to waste itself on fragile wood. It chooses iron. It chooses those who can take the heat and still stand. I am not proud of my tears, but I'm not ashamed of them either. Every drop that fell carved my face into the shape of a survivor. Every time they mocked me, I sharpened my silence until it became a blade they can't escape. Sometimes I whisper to myself, why me? Why was I chosen for this endless grief? And the answer comes back louder than thunder. Because you can carry it. That's the curse and blessing of the warrior. You don't choose the pain, but you master it until it bows before you. You walk with your chest ripped open, yet no one dares question if your heart is still beating. They know it is, because they can feel it shake the ground beneath your steps. They wanted me to break. Oh, how they wanted to see me crawl, begging for mercy, suffocated by my own sorrow. And yes, I broke. I broke 1,000 times. But each break was a lesson, was a scripture. Each betrayal was a teacher whispering in my ear, "You are more dangerous when you rise." And so, I rose, again and again. Broken, yes, but destroyed, never. So cry if you must. Scream if the silence is choking you, but never, ever surrender. Remember that every night ends, no matter how endless it feels, and every warrior who bleeds in the dark will one day see the dawn. And when that dawn comes, when you walk out of the shadows, the world will finally understand why you kept going. Because you were not fighting for them. You were fighting for yourself. Despite everything, I am fine. And if I am, then so can you. You see these hands? They shake, not from fear, but from carrying too much weight for too long. They've held weapons, held people I loved, held my own face when the tears wouldn't stop. And sometimes, they held nothing. Just the emptiness of a life I didn't ask for. People look at me and they think strength is this shiny armor, uncracked, untouched, unbreakable. Fools. Real strength is the man who wears broken armor, dented and rusted, and still steps into the battlefield. Real strength is the warrior who has no shield, only scars, and yet raises his chest to the storm like it owes him something. I don't hide my pain anymore. Why should I? Pain has been my most loyal companion. It never left me. It never betrayed me. It wakes me up at night. It walks with me in the day. It eats with me. It sits in silence beside me when everyone else leaves. Pain is the only friend who doesn't lie. It tells you exactly where you are weak. It whispers what you must face. It shows you the truth no one else dares to say. And you know what? It forces you to grow. Without it, I'd still be a soft boy thinking the world was kind. But now I see it. This world is fire, and you either burn or learn to carry the flames. They laughed at me once. Do you know what it feels like to pour your heart out, to give everything and still be treated like a joke? They mocked my silence. They mocked my tears. They mocked my loyalty. They thought kindness meant weakness. But that's where they were wrong. Kindness is not weakness. It is control. It is choosing not to become the monster that created your scars. It is choosing not to destroy everything, even though destruction would be easy. But here's the secret. When the warrior stops holding back, when the warrior finally decides to stop explaining, stop forgiving, stop bleeding for those who never cared, he becomes unstoppable. I know you're tired. I know you're sitting there wondering if the fight is worth it. You think the world doesn't see you. You think your sacrifices